Ooh, now this is gonna be one I'm really gonna enjoy talking about. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by the one and only beautiful devil himself, Quentin motherfucking Tarantino. I gotta say a Samuel Jackson quote someday in my life. It was a beautiful classic tale and honestly very unique tale for what a lot of people are really being nostalgic for nowadays. A nostalgic story about Hollywood in the 1960s, not the 80s ones. What a big twist, I know, right? It's a tale about the 1960s Hollywood and this crazy time of the golden era that people were calling while the new counterculture movement was booming and rock and roll was going mad. New films and styles and big pioneering industry things were coming in with the way sci-fi was getting pushed and westerns were finally dying. The big infamous Manson murders were about to take place, all happening while these two actors that we followed throughout the whole way, or stuntman and actor played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, go through this crazy world and these new crazy times of change and excitement and fear at the same time with things that were going to soon be coming up of Hollywood in the 1960s. There's so much to talk about, but Quentin Tarantino managed to make it super entertaining. What a shocker. Do you guys really think I'm not going to praise this movie? Here's what I thought about the movie. So if you all haven't noticed throughout my reviews or my videos throughout the years, I am a huge geek. That should be obvious. But I'm a huge geek for history, and especially for the 1960s. Yes, I love the 80s and 70s, like, oh, the next guy around or the next gal around. They're beautiful times. I know you have The Rock, you had the movies, you had the fucking pop, you have Michael Jackson, though people might think he's a rapist now, so maybe not so much anymore. But I dare say with my proof of my love for the Beatles, which I have my, 18 magazine to prove, I couldn't bring my records, that I think the 1960s are a definite contender for one of the greatest decades of all time. We had the Civil Rights Movement, though yes, we had racism. We had the Civil Rights Movement to battle that, and we had the Vietnam War, but we had counterculture processing it, fighting constantly. We had the rock music, like the Beatles. We had Jimi Hendrix. We had folk, like Simon & Garfunkel and Bob Dylan. We had the directors, like hopefully I get this right, Enrico Marione. I really hope I didn't mess that up. Stanley Kubrick. We had... It was just such a crazy time. We had Woodstock. We had the moon landing, the freaking moon landing. We had some of the biggest stars in music and filmmaking and new upcoming ones that were soon about to blow into the scene, like George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. So much to talk about that I'm losing. The Cars. I'm going to keep going on forever, and I'm not going to shut up, and you guys know how I love to ramble. There's just so much to talk about this era that it would just go insane. And the movie goes through a lot of that. It's almost... don't want to necessarily call it a Forrest Gump style of movie because it isn't really that, because it's really only focused on the film industry and what was going on around that time and the culture, all revolving around the film industry and specific events, but it still has that Forrest Gump style where they live their regular lives and try to, to go day by day and deal with this world while going through these big events. Similar to how Forrest Gump went through his day-by-day life and struggled with his own things while going through these insane events that happened throughout the 50s all the way to the 90s. It's really involving really just 1 or 2 years, if I'm correct, that it really goes through the movie. But it's still with Quentin Tarantino's insane directing skills and his cinematography and his storytelling and his dialogue that we all know and love him for. It's some of the most entertaining things ever. This guy managed to make a scene about a Nazi and a Jewish survivor eating cake. If I'm correct, was it cake? No, I think it was called strudel. It's just European dish. Being the most entertaining, relaxing thing ever. That there are literal people on YouTube that make ASMR videos about eating that fucking pastry. What is happening? This guy is a genius. There are literal moments of this movie where the characters are just relaxing and talking to each other like normal human beings and just watching TV with the great stuff that was happening around the 60s with shows like Batman and FBI, and you're just hooked. You're just enjoying it the whole time. It's like you're having a drink with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio in the 60s. What am I saying? But seriously, and so a lot of this movie, you just have this joy while these characters chilling and dealing with these times, especially the main character Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, tries to deal with, and the stress of him trying to survive Hollywood despite all these big changes. It's just hilarious to see them just lose their mind and just start cussing and just screwing over everyone and just getting mad at everything and hating the world and just crying like a little bitch in front of like a literal 8-year-old, while the 8-year-old's like the literal adult and just the smart ass of the whole fucking movie. It's just absolutely insane, hilarious, and enjoyable. And though, really, honestly, yeah, what I said earlier, if you think about it, it's really just a simple story of just like some actor just trying to be successful. Like, it should be really silly and something cliche, but Tarantino just has such a genius way of telling his stories that you are literally, once again, this guy managed to make a scene about a Nazi eating a pastry the most entertaining thing ever. And, oh my god. However, the movie isn't perfect, though, like I said, since a lot of it really just involves these characters just chilling and just talking, though it is really entertaining for most of it. There are some moments a lot of people, and even I agree, that it goes a bit too long, and there's even a time when I had to use a restroom, and since I heard about it, and about that stuff, and I just calculated perfectly and realized, okay, these guys have just been talking for 5 minutes, I'm gonna leave. That's it. And I came back, and 5 minutes later, it's the exact same thing. So nothing happened. And I was like, yeah, they're just talking. What's happening? There is like a good 5 to 10 minutes of this movie that I will agree that didn't really have to be there. Though I get what Tarantino was going for. It doesn't really work. And nothing that does per se always bug me, because since I love Tarantino films so much and I know they're nearly close to perfect, the one thing that stops a lot of them, that I don't get why he's been doing this in like the Inglourious Bastard years, he does these random moments where there's just these weird voiceovers that I don't get why he adds them. You don't need them, Tarantino. You're the perfect guy of dialogue and visual storytelling. The voiceovers just ruin it and explain things, pretend the audience is dumb. Now, admittedly, there are some times that, yes, because since I'm a big nerd about the 60s and just about history in general, I know most of the stuff, so I get someone, a normal person like me that's not like me and doesn't pick up a history book for fucking breakfast, isn't going to get what's happening, then yes, maybe you could explain it. It's just something that's always bugged me, but once again, it's only like 10 minutes of the movie too, so 20 minutes in total of a 2 hours and 45 minutes of an entire movie that I didn't personally enjoy too much. That's it. I love this whole entire freaking movie, man. It's not perfect, it's nothing breathtaking, but Tarantino just has an incredible style that just makes it beautiful and just amazing experience throughout the whole way. It's just a beautiful love letter to the 60s, and it does change a lot of the events that does happen, by the way, of the history of that, in the most entertaining way possible. You're gonna think for like the first hour of this movie isn't really violent, it doesn't have Tarantino's famous gory style, it kind of sucks. Just wait till the end. You're gonna fucking love it. I'm gonna give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a 9 out of 10. It's not Tarantino's best film. I still think that goes to Pulp Fiction. It's a legendary film. But this is still freaking amazing. It's what I love about Tarantino. And somebody talked about the 60s. I only wish they talked also a lot more about the Beatles. But I'm just a loser. Guys, this is what I thought about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Those are my 2 reviews. Probably, unfortunately, the last 2 reviews I have for the whole summer. I know I'm just gonna talk about it right now. I didn't see Spider-Man yet. I know I did not see the new Spider-Man. I'm so sorry. You guys have no idea how disappointed I was for that. I was supposed to see that on my birthday. Things change. Leave me alone. I'm only young. Summer's still young. I got 3 more weeks to go, and I'll upload as much as you can. I just want to say thank you always for watching my stuff. I love doing this for you guys. It's generally something I always, without fail, it puts a smile on my face to see you guys watch this stuff. And cheers. Thank you. Love you all to death. I hope you all have a lovely day. Please go check out this movie. See you guys.